What's up, guys? This is the Honest Outlaw here, and today we're going to be doing a review on the Remington V3 Tac-13 12-gauge firearm. Before I do that, I want to mention my patrons and supporters. Thank you guys very much. YouTube recently demonetized my channel, so I really appreciate your support. Because of that, we do patron-only content, we do monthly giveaways, and if you do have a question you need me to answer, I always answer my patron direct messages, so feel free to get a hold of me over there. I also want to mention I've got other links down there as well. Amazon links, a link to a local homeless shelter, plus some other links that all help the channel or help the homeless shelter, so go down there and take a look. Now back to the Remington Tac-13. What is it? Well, it is a 12-gauge semi-automatic, not a shotgun. And what I mean by that is it is a 13-inch barrel on a shotgun that you can actually legally buy right from the store. You don't have to worry about a $200 tax stamp or going through the ATF or an SBS or anything like that. The downside is it doesn't have a stock. It actually has a bird's head grip, as you can see right here. Now, the advantage to the bird's head grip over something like a pistol grip shotgun, which is stuff that was kind of popular when I was younger, is it doesn't hurt your wrist so bad when you actually shoot it, because the angle of the bird's head grip is actually a lot more ergonomic than the old pistol grips that were vertical. For whatever reason, under recoil, it seems like you can handle this much better, and it is much more comfortable. And like I said, I have owned both, and I really prefer the bird's head grip, not only on the Remington, but also on the Mossberg Shockwave, which I also happen to own. It says you can't hip fire accurately. I hit every one of those. I mean, it helps to have a shotgun, of course. Now, as you can see, we're going to go down the gun real quick, and there is that 13-inch barrel. Now, something that separates the Tac-13 from something like the Shockwave or the Tac-14, which is Remington's popular model of the pump, not a shotgun, is that this happens to be a semi-auto. Not only is it a semi-auto, but it also uses the Versa system, the same system, or at least a very similar system that the Versamax had. Now, the Versamax has very low recoil from Remington, and the V3 also has pretty low recoil comparatively. You have to remember that you're going to have a decent amount of recoil with a 12-gauge that doesn't have a stock. Now, the VersaPort gas system is supposed to be incredibly reliable and low recoil because it is self-regulating, so you can use many different types of ammo, all the way from 8-shot all the way up to buckshot and slugs. Now, some other features this gun has, other than the bird's head grip, is going to be the hand stop right here, which is pretty important if you want to keep your left hand, because occasionally this forend can be a little bit slippery, and you wouldn't want to slip up to the muzzle end. I would say that it's even more important on a semi-auto than it is on a pump shotgun, because if you start railing off rounds on a semi-auto 12-gauge that doesn't have a stock, you can get a little out of control pretty quickly, I have to admit, and you would probably benefit from having your hand in that strap at all times, you know, just in case you want to keep both hands. It also comes with an accessory rail there, which I think is pretty cool. If I remember right, my Shockwave didn't come with that, so if you wanted to mount a weapon light or a laser, both would work great on this. For something like home defense, you can do that as well. It also comes with a vent rib barrel, a crossbolt safety, which I'm not a fan of, but Remington has to do that because Mossberg already took the tank safety, and it comes with a capacity of 5 rounds and an overall length of 26 inches, making it very compact. A lot of people say there's no use for these type of firearms. I would disagree. I would not only suggest that you could use it for home defense, because with enough practice, you can be accurate out to 25 yards, which is more than enough range for a home defense situation. I would also argue that these would be pretty good for bear defense and stuff like that as well. If you had limited space and you had to throw something in your pack really quick, I would take this over, let's say, a Glock 21 any day of the week if I had a charging grizzly bear at me. So I think there is some actual uses, but I would admit the majority of the people that are going to be buying this are going to be buying it just because it is really fun to hip shoot a semi-automatic 12-gauge. So I have to admit this is a really great time. So I guess I kind of already covered what you would use it for. Now, home defense, don't get me wrong, there are better options. If a guy was breaking into my house and I had a choice between this and, let's say, a Versamax or an 870 or a Mossberg 500 or 590, anything with a stock is going to be a little more beneficial to shoot, and it's going to be a lot more accurate, and it's going to be a lot more consistent than something like this is going to be. But I think where people go off the road a little bit is when they talk about how this is useless. This is not useless. 6 rounds of 12 gauge buckshot that you can fire reasonably accurately is not useless. And it does also have a scare factor that a lot of guns don't have, since a lot of movies and stuff like that use sawed-off shotguns. People are going to immediately identify what this is. It's a scary black gun, and that can work in your favor if you're trying to get somebody out of your house that's stealing your TV or something like that. Right now we're shooting some Fiocchi. I don't know what the hell this is. Target Max, 8-shot. If I put it over there, I can't reach it.
You're such a dork.
Now we'll get into reliability here, and I was actually moderately surprised about the reliability of the V3 Tac-13. I've had a history of having terrible luck with Remington, as is most of their customer base, it seems like, because their quality control and just their overall quality of their products has gone down in the past 10 years pretty dramatically. Remington used to make some of the best guns in the world. They were recently bought up by the Freedom Group, and then over and over and over, and whatever companies own them now, the quality has gone down pretty consistently to the point to where I would almost not recommend anything made by Remington at this point. Now don't get me wrong, their old stuff is still fantastic. However, even their customer service on some of the old stuff can be a little bit risky. This is the first gun that I've tried in the past 3 or 4 years, which I actually enjoyed the experience of shooting because it didn't malfunction every other round. Considering the fact that it is a gas-operated 12 gauge, which already can have some issues, and the fact that it doesn't have the stable platform of a stock to hold that recoil impulse in place, and that can actually cause some short-circuit issues, I was actually really surprised at how reliable this is. Now, it wouldn't function anything lower than 1,000 feet per second. Loading a shotgun while it's raining, almost feel like I'm in a Paul Harrell video. I haven't shot this guy in a while, and it is slick. So we're gonna test my recoil control here. Or we're not. Understandable, most shotguns won't. I figured I'd try it anyway, and I can show you a clip of that right here. But the vast majority of ammo, 1,200 feet per second and above, 8-shot, 6-shot, I tried a little bit of buck, and I tried a couple of slugs, all function pretty fantastically. I shot 200, 250 rounds through it, something like that, and I had, other than the low-powered ammo, I had 0 problems whatsoever, which again astonishes even me. But is that a fluke? I don't know. Are you going to have that reliability? I honestly don't know. I like to base my reliability recommendations on the experience I have with the particular firearm, the track record of that particular firearm, and the track record of that company overall. And I would say one of those is excellent and the other 2 are shady at best. But for the money, I would say it's a pretty reliable gun, at least this one in front of me, for considering what it is. Now, accuracy is going to be really, really up to the shooter. And what I mean by that is, how experienced are you with 12 gauges? How experienced are you with shotguns? How good can you intuitively shoot? Because it's extremely difficult to get a good sight picture on firearms like this. And a lot of times when you see reviews of guys saying they can't hit the broadside of a barn, that really depends on how skilled you are as a shooter. Now, I've done a lot of hillbilly shotgun shooting when I was a kid, and I've shot from the hip quite a bit, and I actually can consistently hit with this at 25 yards without much of an issue. But again, that comes with practice, and this gun has a lot of recoil, so are you going to want to shoot it a ton to try to get good with a gun like this? Hard to say. And accuracy, like I said, can be doable, but for the average person just picking it up the first time and trying to shoot it, it's probably going to be pretty terrible. You're going to have to intuitively shoot and or hold it in front of your face, so you're going to have to be strong enough not to get this bird's head grip right between your eyes, and you're going to have good form, and you're going to have a good base in shooting technique before you're able to use this successfully. Granted that you have all that stuff, it can be a pretty formidable weapon. What do you think?
Not bad.
Not bad?
I didn't hit anything.
That's okay, give her another rip.
Ow.
Now we'll go through the ergonomics here front to back really quick, and we'll start with the bird's head grip because that's where the majority of your grip comes from. And I would say that it is, again, the same fairly good design as the Mossberg or the Tac-14 that came before it. I wish it had a little bit more texture because I did shoot this in the rain and it was a little bit slippery, and the last thing you want to do is pile a buckshot or triple odd buck out of this and smoke this thing right in your nose and break your nose or something like that. So I would like a little bit more texture. If it were me and I kept this forever, I might actually stipple this. Moving up to the front, the charging handle works very well. The mag release was a little bit sticky, but a lot of 12 gauge semi-autos have a sticky magazine release. The lifter and the magazine worked really, really well. I have to admit it was very, very easy to load. I never caught my thumb in it at all, and it worked great. The crossbolt safety, I'm not a fan of crossbolt safeties. I really like the 870s, especially the old Wingmasters, you know, 1960s, 70s. I love those guns, but the crossbolt safety to me is still inferior to the Mossberg tank safety. However, the crossbolt safety won't accidentally disengage or engage, and sometimes the Mossberg will. It is drilled and tapped up here for a tack rail, so if you want to put a red dot up here, that actually might not be a bad choice because it's one point of aim, and if you're not so used to using just a bead sight on a shotgun, a red dot is a big advantage on a shotgun. Most people discount that, but let's be real. A shotgun doesn't shoot a 10-foot spread like it does in the movies. You know, if you're shooting a buckshot round at 10 yards, you're only going to get about an inch per yard away from the shotgun, regardless of barrel length. Actually, chokes matter a lot more than the barrel length does. So this is not threaded for a choke, which does kind of suck. But you are going to have to use your sights. This is not a 1970s scattergun in a George Romero movie or something like that. Moving up to the forend, I like the forend. I like how it feels. It actually has a little bit more texture, in my opinion, than the grip does, and it does feel very similar to the Versamax that I used to. I actually own 2 Versamaxes. Great gun. If they could actually figure out how to make it work 100%, and it would be one of the best guns on the market. I like the design of the forend. I like that it has an ergonomic channel here that you can put your fingers on one side and your thumb on the other side, and you can really grip down on that forend along with having your hand in the thumb strap. You can get quite a positive grip on this gun. It holds 5 rounds in the tube, 1 in the chamber, and 6 rounds of 12 gauge is pretty good for a 26-inch overall package. I do like that it comes with the extension, and I do like that it comes with the tack rail. I wish it would have came with a fiber optic sight, but honestly, that's probably a bit overkill for a gun that's, like I said, mostly meant to shoot just for fun. Overall, I think if you are going to buy a 12 gauge like this for home defense, I would really, really suggest a more reliable, reputable company to purchase from. But if you are going to purchase this and yours is reliable as mine is, I think it would work very well for a home defense gun. But again, I can't stress enough that Remington is spotty at best, so the likelihood of you getting one that's as reliable as this one is, hard to say. Overall, it's accurate enough, it's reliable enough, it sure as shit is powerful enough, and I liked it a whole lot more than I expected to like it. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. If you want to see me do a comparison between this and, let's say, a pump gun like a Mossberg Shockwave, let me know in the comment section below because I do own both those guns as well. Please help out your local homeless shelters and remember to recycle. I'll check you later.